Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
Romy, I actually asked Sam to bring in a couple props that he could talk through. Why don't you talk through the products you brought in on and talk about how you repair cracks? You can tell when a homeowner's painted their house, stucco home themselves, that had stud cracks or spider cracking on it, and they use a smooth caulk. They let it dry, then they paint it. And now every one of those cracks is flashing, shouting, "Here I am, look at me." How do you hide those cracks? What are your tricks?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, right? Because most commonly, most homeowners will take this right here, right? This is a normal tube of caulk, and they'll go ahead and start caulking all the cracks on their house. And they're like, yeah, hey, it's good to go. And then they'll see that kind of shininess after they paint it, and you'll see kind of lines on the side of the house. So this is not recommended for stucco crack repair, right? What you want to be using is something a little more like this. This is concrete and masonry sealer. This actually has a little bit of texture in here, which I can show you. Did bring this caulking gun right here.
There you go. We got it going on now.
Oh yeah. I mean, for those listening on radio, this probably isn't helping you too much. But
it's basically a caulk. Let's just simplify. It's got sand in it.
Yeah.
It's got some texture in it, so it doesn't just get glossy and shout at you as you got the repair. Now, I like to take an air compressor, blow that crack out, and go ahead and rub that and show the granule and the sand that's in it.
Yeah, you can really see kind of on the tip of my fingers there, for those who are looking online. It has a little bit of those granules, and that really helps it blend into the stucco better. So after we paint, you won't see that same kind of flashing. Now, whenever you fix cracks, you might see a very, very slight thing. That fades over time. If you see a slight sheen behind it, that does fade with the sun and blend in over time. But that's why a lot of times we recommend using a slight sheen on the outside of your house. One, it helps make sure it looks uniform. And the truth is, the sun burns off the sheen before the color. So if you have a very slight sheen on there, not too high, right? You don't want to have a full gloss house, right?
Yeah.
The permeability rate on that's not great. But it'll really help extend the lifetime of your paint.
All right. And now once you have cleaned the crack out, applied the textured caulk, and that's an elastomeric caulk, and people get confused about where to and where not to use elastomeric. I'm not a fan of using elastomeric paint anywheres. Maybe on a roof over a foam roof, but I'm not a fan of it, with rare exception. But it's elastomeric caulk that's in the crack, gives it a little give and take as that crack thermally wants to shrink and expand during the different seasons. But then I will take, before it dries, I will take a wet sponge and just daub it. And that kind of just feathers it in. The crack disappears.
Yeah, it really does. And when you take a wet sponge or even a wet brush and you kind of feather it out to try to blend it in as best as possible, right? Because the goal is to have your home look really beautiful, right? That's why you pay a professional. So, after you're done with the DIY stress, right, that can end relationships from time to time, you want to make sure you hire someone that's going to make sure it looks good at the end of the day.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.